I recently wrote a blog.
Body, extra, extra, read about it. Say you wanna beef about it. We gon' come and see about it. Flexing ain't discreet about it. Extra, extra, read about it.
Hey guys, what's up? My name is Kia and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be sitting down and talking about a few things I would say to my younger self. I recently wrote a blog post about this on my website, which I will link down below in the description box for you guys to check out. But I was also inspired to sit down and make this video because I was doing a lot of reflecting about my younger years in college and when I was a teenager, and just got like secondhand cringe and embarrassment about some of the situations that I was in and how I probably looked. I know I looked pretty crazy back then, but at the time it didn't feel like that. But just kind of like reflecting on that and looking back on that, it's just like, ugh, like ew, like why did I ever allow myself to do that? But I also realized that I didn't know better then as I do now, and I've really been taking the time to sit back and implement a lot of new healthy things into my life so that, I don't repeat the things that I was doing at 20 and 19, because some things you're just too old to be involved in or to continue doing. Just wanted to sit down and talk with you guys about these things. So if you're interested in knowing more, then keep on watching. I am a rather hard-headed person. Well, not so much now, but I was very much so in college, and it was really hard to take the advice of, the people around me when I wanted things to go a certain way. And by any means necessary, I was willing to sit back and do whatever it took so that I could have my way. I wanted things to go a certain way, and I would try my hardest to kind of force it to go in the way that I wanted it to go. But it usually never worked out. And that's why, like, a lot of situations that I was in when I was younger were just very like, they were just like so embarrassing. I've since learned to forgive myself for those things, but oh my goodness, like, uh, so I wanted to sit down and take some time to talk with you guys about some of the lessons that I've learned over the last few years of my life, and just share those things and what I've learned from them, and hopefully someone else might resonate with it. The first thing that we're going to be talking about is don't take romantic relationships seriously. And I say this because it's so easy, especially at that young age of like between 18 and 22, 23, to sit back and find someone that you think that you're going to settle down with and that you're going to have a family with and all of these other plans and stuff. And you don't really think about the long term, or you don't really ask yourself the questions of whether or not this person is actually meant to be in my life, and if they're contributing to my life in a healthy and positive way, and vice versa. You don't have any of those conversations with yourself when you're that age. You're still trying to figure out yourself. You're still trying to figure out what your red flags are, what you do and don't like in a person. You're trying to figure out what you are willing to accept and what you're willing to not accept. You're still trying to figure all those things out, and you can't really know those things when you're that age. And I thought I knew myself when I was that age, but I had no idea who I was. I'm actually just now starting to get to know myself on a deeper level than before. But at that age, I definitely didn't know anything about what I wanted or who I wanted or what kind of partner I was looking for. And every single relationship that I entered into, you know, I didn't know like what this person was going to be in the long run. And I think that those expectations and ideals weren't necessarily things that I came up with. They were things that I was taught to expect from another person. And so I was trying to force those ideals onto my partners at the time, and I wanted what I wanted from them. I wanted to settle down. I wanted to have this happy life and this happy family with them because, of how I felt. I wasn't really thinking of anything else outside of that momentary feeling of like, this is love, like this is what I want, like this is the person that I'm going to be with forever and settle down with and have a family with. And it's like, no, that's not the case. That's not the case at all. Now, the fact that I had that, feeling with most of my relationships was a very sure sign that, you know, that maybe this relationship thing isn't necessarily for me at the time because of how I was viewing them. I was viewing relationships as things to be in and not things to invest in. None of my relationships worked out, of course, because I'm not going to take all the blame. I'm not going to take all the blame. I'm going to take a little bit of the blame and know that I had some issues that I had to deal with and some things that I had to figure out with myself first before I could enter into a relationship. When I say don't take romantic relationships seriously, that's what it means. Like, know that you are still young, you still have your life ahead of you. You have so many things that are going to be going for you and are going for you. And it's a shame that we give all of our time and our energy to a man or a relationship that isn't bringing us any kind of fulfillment. That's not to say that, you know, you could never be in a fulfilling relationship at a young age. That's not what I'm saying at all, because there's plenty of people who've had relationships when, you know, when they were younger and they're still going strong now. But I'm more so saying that if you find yourself in failing relationship after failing relationship and you go into that thinking that this person is going to be the one and they're not the one, then that's a clear indicator that you probably just need to take some time away from dating and really sit back and focus on who you are and what you want and what your goals are, and, you know, go from there. So I wrote 10 things that I would say to my younger self, but I'm not going to address all 10 things in this video. I'm just going to do a few that are the major, like, key points that I want to discuss. The next thing we're going to talk about is don't settle for less. Don't settle for less in any aspect in life, whether that is career, with your family, with your relationships, romantically. Don't settle for less, because when you settle for less, you don't live in your authentic truth. You don't live your best version of yourself, because you allow yourself to get less than what you deserve. Always remember, you deserve more than someone feeding you crumbs on a relationship or stringing you along. You deserve more than a job that continuously underappreciates you and continues to give you, you know, so much work and doesn't recognize all your efforts. You deserve more than that. Or you deserve to feel loved and to be seen and feel heard. You deserve more than what you allow into your life. If you're allowing low vibrational things, that's all that's going to really be around you. But if you start accepting that you deserve more and kind of like start, you know, living a more higher vibrational life, then you'll start to see more, you know, things that are worthy of your time and worthy of your attention come flowing into your life. I know it's easier to say don't settle for less than to actually, you know, not do it, because sometimes we get into those spaces where we find ourselves accepting any old kind of thing because we're trying to be good people. And it's like, just because you say no doesn't necessarily mean you're a bad person. You put up your boundaries and you maintain them, and that's what's going to keep you from settling for less. The next thing we're going to talk about is the race against time. And I continue to struggle with this even at my big age of 25. I still struggle with the fact that I feel like time is running out. You know, I'm going to be 30 soon and I still haven't accomplished a lot of things that I want to accomplish. And, you know, I'm always like, you know, putting the pressure on myself and stuff like that. But you just have to sit back and take a breather. Yes, you're getting older, but you have time to figure out what you want to do in life. You have time to sit back and achieve the things that you want to achieve. You don't have to put societal pressures onto yourself to be accomplished and successful by the time you're 24. Like, that's kind of not possible, especially in this day and age. But it's also really crazy that you would expect yourself to be in that position when there's so many things that you have to do before you can get to that level of success that you want to be at. Like, everything takes time. It takes time to build a relationship. It takes time to build a platform on social media. It just takes time to build the life that you want. It's not going to come overnight. It's not going to, you know, just fall into your lap, which I would love right now to be like lying on a yacht right now, just living my best life. But I know that one day it's going to come. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow or next month or next year, but I know that it's going to come. And that's how you have to talk to yourself. You have to believe that the things that you're doing now matter, okay? What you're doing now matters in the long run. So if you're putting the pressure on yourself, stressing yourself out, then you're going to burn out, and then you're not going to be able to foresee the dream that you have. But instead, just take your time. Understand that you cannot rush certain things. You cannot, because if you do, it's just not going to work out, and it's only going to leave you feeling tired and frustrated, not wanting to continue forward. The last thing that I want to talk about is investing in your friendships. I cannot stress how important it is to really find a solid friend group. You don't have to have a lot of friends, but just a solid few friends that you know will have your back and will continuously support you and uplift you. It's important to pour into your friendships the way you do your romantic relationships, because our friends are people too. Our friends have, connections with us as well, and they deserve to feel loved by us too. They have feelings and they have things going on with their lives as well, and it's important to remember that. And it's easy to get caught up in your own thing and get caught up in, what you got going on and stuff like that, and forget that, the whole world around you exists. But sometimes you just have to put in the extra effort to remember that you do have love around you, you have support around you, and make sure you give that love and support back. Our friends are family too, they deserve to feel loved and seen and uplifted as well, and they need you just as much as you need them. Invest in your friendships. Make sure that you're taking the necessary steps to show that you care and show that your friends are loved by you, and to show that they are a priority, because our friends are not just things that are like background characters or anything like that. They are huge parts of our lives, and for some, huge support systems. So we have to make sure that we're watering that connection with our friends. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I enjoyed dissecting those things that I would say to my younger selves and kind of just reviewing those lessons, and really sitting back and kind of figuring out how I'm embodying those things as well in my day-to-day life. I also hope that someone was able to walk away with something new or feeling inspired about how they are living their lives and really wanting to implement some new and healthy things into their lives. So yes, I post every Sunday at 12 p.m. We talk about wellness, mental health. I'm also a writer, a poet, so I will be talking about poetry and writing on this page as well. And that's it for me. I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, yeah.